friends. This is Dr. Bobby Mahanta from Dhupguri College of Education. Before starting the lesson, I would like to state that if you all are facing any kind of difficulty in understanding the lesson, just feel free to communicate it to me. You can either message me or send me a mail. I shall try my best to clarify your doubts, so feel free. Let us begin with the lesson. Regarding this topic, I've already discussed in my previous lesson. We spoke about the devices that the teacher can use for maximizing the teaching learning process, and also we spoke about the media, the different kind of medias that a teacher can use. Today I shall continue with the characteristics and principles, the purpose, and as to why it is essential for a teacher. So let's begin. It is very essential for a teacher to select the teaching aids in a way that it will assist his teaching and maximize learning among the students. So the basic characteristics of good teaching aids are: it should be meaningful and purposeful. It should be accurate in every respect. It should be simple. It should be cheap, means it should not be costly. As far as possible, it should be improvised. It should also be large enough to be properly seen by the students for whom they are meant. It should be relevant. It should be easily portable. And also, it should be according to the mental level of the students. The teaching device, it should be selected in a way that it will motivate the learners. So therefore, when a teacher is selecting the teaching aid, he should keep the following characteristics in mind. Now coming to the principles in the use of teaching aids, the first comes the principle of selection. Teaching aids prove effective only when they suit the teaching objectives and unique characteristics of the special group of learners. So the teacher has to recognize the learners and accordingly select the teaching device. They should have specific educational value besides being interesting and motivating. So this is very, very much essential. Next, principle of preparation. This principle requires the basic things such as locally available material should be used in the preparation of an aid. And also, the teacher should receive some training in the preparation of the aids so that he doesn't commit the errors in making and or preparing the teaching aids. Next, principle of physical control. This principle relates to the arrangement of keeping aids safely and also to facilitate their lending to the teachers for use. So here what we understand is that teaching aids should be such that it can be reused or it can be handed over to another teacher for using. Next, principle of proper presentation. This is so much important. Now let us see what does this imply. Teachers should carefully visualize the use of teaching aids before their actual presentation. The aid should be displayed properly so that all the students are able to see it, observe it, and derive maximum benefit out of it. As far as possible, distraction of all kinds should be eliminated so that full attention may be paid to the aid. I hope it is clear. Next, principle of response. This principle demands that the teacher guides the students to respond actively to the audio-visual stimuli so that they derive the maximum benefit in learning. So students' participation, students' responses should be expected by the teacher. Principle of evaluation. This principle stimulates that there should be continuous evaluation of both the audiovisual material and accompanying techniques in the light of the realization of the desired objectives. So we need to keep these principles in our mind so that the student can benefit whatever the teacher is preparing. It should not go in vain. Therefore, while selecting the teaching device, the teacher needs to be very careful as who the audience are, whether the group is large or small. So everything needs to be kept in mind. The basic purpose of this is nothing but to enhance knowledge and skill of the learner. The learner should not be a passive listener but an active learner. So this is what is expected from a trained teacher. The teacher should encourage learning through electronic devices, assign individual project as well as group project. Tutorial method can be adopted. Seminar and group discussions should be encouraged. Case study, role play, field-based learning can also be encouraged. So when the teacher welcomes these approaches, then definitely this teacher is seeking students' participation. And on the other hand, if students are participating, more learning can be expected. They would understand the lesson, they would uh, develop their interest, they will be more inquisitive to know. So, a healthy learning atmosphere can be generated by the teacher. The basic points that the teacher needs to keep in mind is planning and organize the lesson, formulate the instructional objectives, selection of right media or medias for the right learners, review the work, take feedback. So in this case, the basic purpose of the teacher is to understand the entry behavior of the student, the time that has been allotted for delivering the lesson. He clears out the instructional objectives, what he is going to teach for the day and what he will be teaching the next day. He decides which techniques or media he will adopt and for whom, which level will the learner be able to cope up? Will the learner be able to understand? Will there be participation from the learners? All these the teacher has to keep in mind. Not only this, his work needs to be reviewed. He has to take the feedback so that he can prepare well for the next lesson. In this way, we see that the devices selected by the teacher for curriculum transaction is very essential to stimulate learning among the students. In my next class, I shall deal with the learning design, which is also very important for you all. Till then, thank you.